If you have been to school here before, welcome back. If this is your first year, welcome home. Brother Eddie wanted me to send his apologies. He had some prior commitments. He could not be here. That's the pastor of the church and the principal of the school. And regretfully, he could not be here, but he did send his apologies. Again, just prior commitment. So, I also wanted to mention too, as you're coming in the foyer, please excuse our dust. We are doing some major remodeling this summer. Some of you that have been here before, you will notice that the classrooms have been remodeled, new flooring. God has been very good to us, and so be patient with us as we update and modernize things around here. I guess first we want to thank you for allowing us to be a part of your child's educational process. I am a parent. Most of us that work here, we are parents, and we understand the strength it takes to turn your child over to someone for as important as their well-being, their spiritual upbringing, their education. And so we consider it an honor and a privilege that you would trust us with that. So let us first say thank you for your trust in us, and we will do our very, very best to meet your expectations. Okay? Proverbs 22:6 says that we're supposed to train up our children in the way that they should go, and when they're old, they'll not depart from that. And so we believe that, we live that, and we will do our best to instill whatever we can into your children that will help them along for the rest of their lives. Okay, this is our 42nd year in operation. We're kind of proud of that. All the glory is given to God. And so we're excited what God has planned for Oldsmar, what He has planned for us as staff, your children, the children's families. I'm excited to see what He has in store for us. You know, the world out there right now is very uncertain, but we do know that we have one thing certain in this world, and that's God, and that He loves us, and we can trust Him. So we put faith in that. We have faith that God will use us to encourage your child to excel academically and spiritually. Okay, is Mr. Fago here? Can you come up for a minute? He's going to come up for a minute. He's going to take 2 or 3 minutes. He has one of our parents here. He is also very involved in the operations of the school, and that he is involved in keeping your children safe. So he's going to come up for a couple minutes. He's going to explain what he does, just to kind of give you a little bit of peace of mind, especially in today's time.
Hi, thanks for being here tonight. My name is Dave Fago. I own a company called EcoShield. We're a professional infection control company. We've been in the business about 10.5 years now. We work with NFL teams, NHL teams. We work with Tampa General Hospital. We do sheriff departments, jails, schools, daycares, all kinds of things. And Brother Eddie, Kate's in his 7th year here now. Probably 6 years, last 6 years, well ahead of the pandemic. Brother Eddie and I spoke, and we have been taking care of the school from an infection control standpoint. So every classroom, the chairs you're sitting in, the fellowship hall, the sanctuaries, the gyms, all the way through, we have crews that come in and we do a terminal clean, which is a very similar process that we use in hospitals. It's a process whereby we remove biofilms, which harbor pathogens, and then we apply EPA-registered disinfectants that have residual efficacy. So every classroom, all the desks, all the chairs, there's hand sanitizers that we supply in every room. The teachers have EPA-registered products that they clean with that have the same active ingredient as the professional stuff we apply, and it kind of creates a barrier to help prevent pathogens from spreading. And again, Oldsmar Christian's been ahead of the curve. It's like, I think, our 6th year doing it. So we feel like we have a pretty good handle on things, and we have not had a lot of problems. And if there's any questions, you guys feel free to ask at any time. They can all get a hold of me. But we just wanted to share that we're grateful for the school to be proactive like this, and that we're proud to be here, and we appreciate everything you do for the kids. So just wanted to take a moment and let you know that they have been ahead of the curve, and they have a process in place, and they're active participants in that to try to keep the kids safe as best we can. And if you have any questions, please just ask any of the administrators. We can give data or information, or everything's EPA registered and safe. We've done everything we can to try to help with this process. So if you have anything, let us know.
Thank you.
All right, thanks.
get here on Monday morning. Some of you that are, especially your new ones, there's two different drop-off areas. The student parking lot is out here on the north side of the building. And then if you want to park to take your elementary kids into their classrooms, it's here on the south side of the building. Here on the south side of the building, when you come in from Burbank, you'll come in behind the sanctuary where we are now, and you'll stick to the inside lane, which is by the white picket fence, and that is a drive-through lane only. Okay, you cannot get out of your car in that lane because it's supposed to always be fluid and moving. We do ask that you pull up to the little picnic pavilion area out here. Is where your elementary and your middle school children will get out of your car. Your elementary students will go through the campus to the playground. Your 5th, 6th, and 7th grade children will stay under the pavilion. All areas are supervised by staff. And then if you have high school students, there's a little roundabout up here that you come in on the second roundabout and come back around to your left and exit the property that way. And then your high schoolers, 8th grade and up, will wait in the gym in the morning. And the pickup in the afternoon is the same way, okay? We do ask that if you do not park in a staff parking spot, they are in front of the gym, and this side of the sanctuary, there's even some back here. That is not so that teachers get the preferential spots. That is not what that is for. That is actually designed because they are positioned to keep parents from backing in and out of spots where children are unloading. So we put staff cars in those spots so that there's no moving vehicles as your child is leaving to get up onto the campus, okay? That is exactly what that's for. We said no parking is available or is to you here if you want to walk your child in, especially like the kindergarten parents, the K4 parents, the preschool parents, you have to walk your children in. So we just ask that you find a parking spot and then walk them in. Or if you need to go and speak to a teacher or come into the office, please just find a parking spot, okay? If you do have a student driver, they will park out here in this front parking lot. And Mrs. Macario, the guidance counselor, they will have to have a copy of their license and insurance, and so that we know that the student drivers are on property, okay? If you have not received a packet in the mail or you were not handed a packet upon registration, there is a handbook in there. It's purple this year. We do require you to read that, and if your child is of age where they can read and understand, we ask that they read it as well. If your child is younger, we ask that you kind of share the key points with them. It prevents a lot of misunderstanding, a lot of issues later on down the road. So please make sure, just familiarize yourself with that. I have been here 20 years and I read it every year because as a staff member and as a parent, I graduated 4 children from here, I would forget what it said. So please read that and make yourself familiar with it. There is a change in there this year in the handbook that you may, if it's not new to you, high school students, 8th grade and up, are required to have lockers. They must have lockers. So if they have not already rented their locker, it's a $20 rental fee. We supply the lock. If they have a lock that's easier for them to work than combination, that's fine. We can just switch it out, have them bring us a key or something. Not that we want to snoop, but if they forget it, then their books aren't locked up all day long. But that is for a couple different reasons. Number one, probably the biggest, is they're not supposed to have their cell phone on their person while in class. So if they are caught with their cell phones in class, the teacher will actually take it from them, turn it in to me, and I will give it back to them at the end of the day. If it continues to happen, I'm going to hold it and tell a parent they have to come and get it. Your tuition dollars are not spent for your child to be on their phone in class. It's spent for them to be learning, and so we take away all learning distraction. And they're allowed to use their phone before and after school and at lunch for text messages and calls and stuff like that. So, but it has to be kept in a locker during class periods. There was a couple papers in your paperwork that you signed. Some of you, if you did not, if you printed your enrollment papers off of the internet, there are a couple pieces of paper that are not in there. One is a food allergy paper. And so if you did not fill that out, please stop in the office before you leave. We'll get you to fill that out. There's also an off-site evacuation permission slip. And that is just simply so if there were to be an emergency, gas leak, something along those lines. We have partnered with the Oldsmar Library, which is a couple blocks over. And that just gives us permission that if we have to vacate this property and you cannot get here in time, we can load up the children and take them all to the Oldsmar Library, okay, for a safe zone. Also, if physicals and immunization forms, if I do not have those, I please need those, okay? School starting time is 8:30. The tardy bell rings at that time. It is very important that your children get here on time. When they miss, the ABECA curriculum is a college preparatory curriculum, and so even if you miss 10 minutes a day, we always talk about this. If you're late 10 minutes 3 times, you've already missed, half of the instruction for that entire period. So please get those children here on time. It also does things like it avoids us calling you at 8:32 going, your child's not here, and you panic because you just dropped them off out front, and we're calling you saying they're not here, and it's just that we haven't got them signed in with a tardy slip yet. So please have those children here on time. It also disrupts the learning environment of those that are the kids that are sitting in class. Okay, so let's just be respectful of that. Obviously, we know things are going to happen, accidents. Tampa Road is famous for accidents, but just do the best you can, especially to avoid the just sleeping in type things that all kids want to do. I get that. I think we all do. If you are late, your children will have to come into the office to get a party pass, a tardy pass. And for students 7th through 12th grade, they may receive a number 4 demerit for having an unexcused tardy. You can read that in the reasons for that in your handbook. Now, obviously, things like medical appointments, family emergencies, traffic, accidents, or any unavoidable reasons, those would be excused. But most of the time, the excuses we get is, yeah, we just got up late. Let's try to get rid of that kind of stuff. After school is available. If a student is not picked up by 3:30, school gets out at 3:10. If they're not picked up by 3:30, they are required to go to after school care, and that's all students. K-5 through 5th grade will report to room 3 North, and 6th through 12th grade will report to room 6 North. The charges are $5 if they're picked up per day, if they're picked up before 4, and $10 per day if they go over that, but they have to be picked up by 5:30 p.m. If your child will be absent, contact the office before 8 o'clock a.m. There's not going to be anybody answer the phones till 8, but you can leave a message, and then that keeps us from worrying and calling you, and it's just way smoother that way. Once they return, they have to be returned with a note. If it's going to be excused, it obviously has to be like a doctor's note or just a note from mom saying, he was sick for 2 days, a tummy bug or whatever. Tuition due date is the 1st of every month. Late charges apply after the 5th of the month. And the first tuition was due on August 1st. So if you have not paid your August tuition, see us before you go, because tomorrow's the 6th. We do not provide transportation. However, we always get parents that say, is there anybody driving from this area? What we do is put them on a list, and then if we get 2 or 3 in that area, we call the moms, and here's the other 2 moms that are interested, and you guys can work out a carpooling amongst yourselves. Okay? Teacher's ease. That is the system we use. We're very excited. We've always used it for, 5th through 12th grade. For the longest, we have added kindergarten on up this year. That is going to be your portal to everything you need to know. Your children's assignments, their grades, their progress reports, anything you need to know. We need your email address. We have most of yours from your enrollment papers. If you did not put an email address on your enrollment papers, please see us tonight so that we can get that. You will be sent If you already have Teacher's Ease, if you're already an established parent, nothing changes for you. If you have not had a Teacher's Ease account, we'll send you a welcome email with a generic password. You go in, change the password, and you can log into your child's Teacher's Ease account anytime you wish. The teachers are required to update that weekly. So you should have, so give, you know, if your child took a test on Tuesday, please be kind and give the teacher a couple days to get those graded and get the grades in. They have a week to get those in. If you're not seeing something past that point, reach out to them. It could be something happened that week that they just didn't get to at that time. Just reach out to them and they'll just probably be able to tell you what you need to know at that point. Because sometimes those situations do arise. Okay. If you participate in box tops, it's all digital now. So I'm not sure, I haven't done the box top. Do you scan it, I think, or something? And you scan the receipt, and then you just tell them which school you want that to go to, and it kind of steps you through it all. Lunch cannot be delivered. I know we have become an Uber world, but we can't have, number one, we don't want that much traffic coming in and out of campus. Everybody that we have, that staff or faculty are on this campus regularly, has been background checked to keep your children safe. So the less strangers we have coming and going, the more comfortable we all are. Okay, so let's not, let's just not. If for some reason there is, you have forgotten a lunch and there is absolutely no way that you can get here, we're not going to let your child starve. We'll give you a call, and somebody can't work, bring a lunch, we'll work something out. Okay. All teachers will have a welcome letter and a supply list that they will hand out to you. There was kind of a generic supply list in the Purple Handbook. If you've got it, some teachers have different projects that they do that may require a little bit more. When you go to the classrooms tonight, you will be able to do that. Okay. I want to introduce our teachers to you. Which I should have done in the very beginning, so forgive me. It's been a couple years since I did this. I retired for a couple of years. So, and here I am back. So if staff comes back, that ought to tell you that we love it. So, but let me introduce the teachers to you. We have our preschool K3, K4 teacher is Miss Platt. She's in room 2 North. Our kindergarten teacher in 3 North is Mrs. Hurley. New to us this year, but not new to teaching, in 4 North, first grade teacher, Mrs. Perez. In 4 South, we have our second grade teacher, Mrs. Medlock. In 3rd grade, in 5 South, we have Mrs. Kakalo, who very graciously allows her students to call her Mrs. K. In 5 North, we have our 4th grade teacher, Mrs. McDonald. In Portable 3, we have our 5th grade teacher, Mrs. Rodriguez. 6th grade in Portable 5 is Mrs. Hollis. In Portable 6, we have 7th grade, Mrs. Brinson. Over our high school science department in 8 North is Mr. Clifford. High school history classes in Portable 1, Mrs. Platt. In Portable 2, high school English department, Mr. Bray. Our PE teacher, of course, she's in the gym, Mrs. Manaya. Our high school math department in 1 South, Mr. Delaney. Our computer and Spanish teacher, Miss Bray in 7 North. And high school maths, music, and performing arts in Portable 4, Mrs. Smith. Okay, and of course, I've already told you who our pastor and principal, Brother Eddie, is. He has 3 administrative team members that work directly beneath him. It is Miss Catherine Macario, the guidance counselor. And there's Miss Lisa Crow, who's not here tonight. She's also operates as the athletic director. And then there's me, Mrs. Creasy. I handle registration and discipline. You can come to all 3 of us. That's kind of generally the areas we work in, but we can help you if you can't get to the other one, so feel free to reach out. This year, our administrative assistant, and you'll meet her before you'll see her at the front desk as you come in, is Miss Brinson. And we're so happy to have her here. Now, we don't normally do this, but I just want to do this because here's something I'm very excited about. If you graduated from this school and you have enrolled children here this year, just please raise your hand, wave it. Look around, guys. I just wanted to let you know that these are graduates of Oldsmar that have now are raising their own families, and they have chosen to put their children here. I just think that's a beautiful testimony when you graduate from a school that you want your children to come up through. So if it gives the new parents who are unfamiliar with us a little bit of feel good maybe, I wanted to share that with you. At this time, the teachers are going to go to their classrooms. They're going to get ready to receive you for your questions and the individual things that pertain to your child. We've got a couple more things that we're going to go over while they are there getting ready. And I believe, Miss Brinson, do you have the printouts in the office for the, okay, so when we release you from here, if you don't know where you're going, just poke your head in the office. We'll give you a map with the campus and where the classrooms are. It's not very big, so it won't be too difficult to find where you need to go. Parents of 6th through 12th grade children. We use the demerit system here for our just our correction and our consequences for actions. We believe that consequences are for correction and not punishment. It is our desire to not only train spiritually and educational-wise, but just to produce adults. My son, when he was here, he was the biggest complainer that he had to keep his hair a certain length and he had to tuck his shirt in. He just thought that was the most stupid thing, and he would say to me at times, this is just the most stupid rule. What does it matter? He got employed by Chick-fil-A at 18, and you know what they made him do? Cut his hair and tuck his shirt. So I said, maybe it wasn't so stupid after all, son. So we do use the demerit. We kind of use a 3-strike rule, and what that means is that if in one class period, it's a little bit different in the self-contained classrooms, but a period for 8th through 12th grade is 50 minutes long. And so if they're having to be spoken to 3 times for a type of disruptive behavior in the classroom, they are asked to leave the classroom. They will then come see me. The idea behind that is we want to find out what's going on with them, and we don't want them to disrupt the learning of the other children in the classroom. If that continues to happen a lot, and then you're always going to receive a call from me if that happens anyway. I try to be very respectful. If I ever speak to your child, even if it's just something very minor or something they're not even involved in, I try to give you a call just out of respect. If somebody was speaking to my child, I would want to know about it too. So I will always kind of give you a call, give you a heads up, ask you to help us at home get that whatever behavior is under control so that we can give your child everything he's going to need to succeed in life, okay? If it's blatant behavior that goes on disrespect of the teacher, there is no 3-strike rule. They're just asked to step out and come on to the office, okay? The goal is to have less demerits as we go, swifter response from administration, and including the parents. You know, it's teamwork. It's teamwork. You do not know how many times I've said to moms, all right, we're a tag team match, okay? And so I'm tagging you now. I'm sending him home to you, and it's your turn to step in. So please reach out to us. Reach out to us. Let's do what we can as a team to give your child the very best. The way the demerits work, they'll be for various talking without permission, disruption in class, different things. You will get a demerit sheet. If you look in the handbook, there's an explanation of all of the demerits that are in there. Mostly pretty simple rules. And so when your child comes home, this is 6th through 12th grade. Usually if it's 5th and under, they usually get checks. So if they speak to a child, they'll say, that's a check. That means 5 minutes out of recess. A little new one. So 6th through 12th grade, you'll get a demerit sheet. If your child gets any demerits, it will come home with them on Thursday. It's in a grid form. You can look at it. The infraction number is across the top with the explanation code at the bottom. And there's a grid in between that shows you how many demerits that child got and from what teacher. And then it'll say how many words they have to write. They'll either have to copy a Bible verse or they have to answer the essay question. And they just have to write that many words, okay? It's kind of your responsibility to make sure from Thursday to Monday that's done. If they come in Monday morning and they are not done, they do spend lunch detention with me on Monday to get their demerits written. If they do not get them written on Monday, I ask you to help me out on Monday night too. If they come in Tuesday and they're still not done, they'll be with me on lunch detention again. If we start continuing to do that, it'll start being an out of school suspension, okay? Also, if they get over 2,000 words, it's a suspension, out of school suspension on Monday as well. So just be aware that that's going on. Now obviously we're going to have grace in the beginning. So, I usually write a little G beside their name if I give them grace on a Monday, especially when they're new and they've never operated under that system. I will say to them, okay, one more shot next week, let's get her done. And so we usually don't have too much of a problem. So just help them with that, okay? If they turn their demerits in on Friday instead of Monday, they get 100 words less. They can take 100 words less off of that. And so if they're looking at suspension on Monday with 2,000 words, if they turn them in onto me Friday, I'll take the 1,900 and then they're not suspended on Monday. So the goal is to basically make it pinch enough to where they don't want to get those demerits, okay? If they are in lunch detention on Monday, they are not allowed to purchase lunch from the gym and the lunchroom. They have to pack a lunch. If they forget a lunch, we have things like cups of noodles and things like that they will have to purchase in the detention room, but they cannot go over to the concession stand, so have them bring a lunch. We discussed cell phones already. That's probably our biggest area. If you have a child at home that you've ever had to say, put down your phone and look at me, you know what we're dealing with as teachers and as staff. Okay, so cell phones will be kept in the student's locker. I've gone over that with you. If it will be, the teacher will ask them to turn it. If they refuse to turn it over to the teacher and they continue to refuse to turn it over to the teacher, you will be called to come pick them up, okay? Students' books, who get books, we ask that you cover those to try to keep those so that where they last to the end of the year. Because the books are expensive, and when we have to replace books, we have to pass that cost on to you as the parent, and we don't want to do that. So try to cover them if you can. Reiterate to your child about taking care of them, putting them in their backpacks, not slinging them around at night, things like that. I just want to stress the importance again. I know there's a whole lot of stuff I haven't answered, but when you go to your classrooms, your teachers will be able to speak to you directly about what's important for your child's age and your child's grade level. Feel free to ask them. If you ask them something about school policy or something they cannot answer, stop in and see one of us in the office before you leave, and we'll be happy to answer your questions for you, okay? And we're only at the phones from 8 to 4, but you can feel free to email us, and sometimes we get it at home. If we're not busy doing something, we'll have time to answer back, okay? But I really cannot stress enough making yourself knowledgeable of that handbook. It avoids a whole lot of problems. It truly does. Make sure your child understands it. Usually if they have the expectation of coming in of how things are going to be ran, then it's not so much of a fight with them. If mom has already told her daughter, you will not be able to have your phone in class, you have to keep it in your locker, then when one of the teachers speaks to her, she already expects it, instead of just being caught off guard by this teacher on this first day of this school she's never been to. So please take this time over the weekend to make sure that they are aware of that handbook. I want to thank you again. Again, like I said, I am a mom of 4. I have grandchildren here now. I do not, we do not take you turning your children over to us lightly. We do not, and I want you to know that. We feel and carry the responsibility of their well-being in our hearts, and I do want you to know that. That's just not something I'm just telling you. We are in this because of our heart for children, our love for the Lord, and just wanting to maybe, I don't know, maybe leave this earth knowing that we've done one thing that's changed the life of somebody else. So I thank you again for entrusting your children with us. Okay? Bow your heads with me, please. Lord, we're just thankful for every parent that is here tonight, every grandparent. Father, for every family and every child that will be at this school, every family that's represented. Lord, as faculty and as staff, we ask that you help us to give them the very best that we have to offer. We ask that we be an aid and a help to the parents as they raise their children, and that they would be a help and an aid to us to help us to understand little things about their children that we may not know. We ask that you bind us together as a team, bind us together in a covenant relationship with their child being at the heart of it. And Father, we ask that you enter that situation with your great wisdom, Father, and your providence. And we know that in that, every child here will be successful and the school year will be successful. Now, as the parents go and meet their teachers tonight and then eventually leave this place, we ask that you keep your hands upon their vehicles, that they would arrive home safely. And Father, give them a peace about where they have put their child, and we will give you the praise and the glory for that. In Jesus' name, amen. You can be dismissed at this time. Like I said, there is a little kind of cheat sheet over in the office that tells you where everything is. This whole side of the playground is called north. The opposite side is called the south, and then the portables are over this way. Okay. Thank you.